Yep, it's the end of my freshman year, and to sum up, I would describe it as a paradox, akin to encountering the notions that time moves slowly but pass quickly. I still remember the time I received the notifications of acceptance into NTU, brimming with excitement and anticipation. Still vivid to recall me stepping into the classroom, meeting my fellow classmates with a blend of freshness and nerves. I still remember the time when I geocached all the study rooms, hunting down as many libraries as I could to motivate my studies, including the time when I persisted to come all the way from home to the main library when it never rains but pours. What is wrong with me? While I undoubtedly miss these days, a truth that receives the sophistications of repetition's echoes, time slips without notice. Now, I am officially calling an end to my first chapter in NTU. Freshness turned routine, obscurity matured as familiarity. Still nervous in many aspects, but with less panic regarding to the unknown. Above all, it was no longer a delight from novelty, but the understanding of contentment in the ordinary that resonates. As I mentioned earlier, a word that fits perfectly right into the label of this first year must be the word paradox. The first semester was the era of mass, perhaps stemming from the impulsive decisions driven by a fear of alienation, hence leading me to attend a bunch of school events and activities to keep myself look involving. Joining a guitar club that I never came across to revisit after the dismissal of the first class. Briefly participated in the finance girls volleyball team, which unsurprisingly quit after the freshman cup. Attending something like future planning seminar, aka a place where I caught COVID. Despite these circumstances, it wasn't entirely bad. Not only did it save me 1.5 hours of commuting time, but it also allowed me to slow the pace down so that I could have a chance to ponder and reflect on my behavior overall in the first few days. Anyway, back to the point, the first couple of weeks were confusing, but surely with no regrets, cause I did meet a lot of kind-hearted friends and gained a lot of lessons and cool new experiences that I never had the gut to break before college by being in this chaos. Speaking of new experiences, the first semester was the age of diversity. The finance department orientation camp was loaded with distinctive activities, shows, more shows, games, and friends. Skipping accounting course and went straight to shop with friends. Another class skipping, but this time in the middle of PE, in order to fulfill our need of tea break. Joining finance BBQ party even though I am a vegetarian. And not to mention some of amusing / most embarrassing memories of these activities. Dance battle, and hangover incident. A small performance but with big enthusiasm felt by all the freshmen in the finance department. A small gathering #picnic after the relief from the calculus exam, which always turned out to be on Saturday. Lastly, and most importantly, being a part of the ComSoc camp, What are the key reasons behind these formulations of paradoxical year? The sole memory that remains remarkably vivid to me is a message I received from an upperclassman on my 19th birthday, stating, "When I reflect on my freshman year, it's this camp that stands out." But unfortunately, I struggled to relate with that sentiment at the time. Everything appeared too perfect to be genuine, thus imperfect to me. We had a lot of gatherings, but I never understand the reasons behind each one, especially the deep talk or sharing section. It just somehow looked filtered and forced. But now that the end of camp finally laid, every hour we sold had ripped. I started to admire every sparkle of memories that accompanied me throughout, just as a good movie boosts a climax. For me, that pinnacle was D-Day, which I denoted as the 5 never-resting days. It was these days that we helped each other to grow and finally realized I am closely tied with all of the support, care, and love that this camp extended to all of us, which was unconsciously accumulated within every small gathering. To conclude, a thought that I will forever hold close and smile upon during the flashback is that I am grateful to myself for embracing the diversity of chaos, leading me to stumble upon these incredible opportunities, experiences, friends, and incredible memories. However, what truly astounded me was the revelations of my resonance with that unforgettable message. With the climate behind, a gentle falling ashes ensued, a calm tranquility that brought serenity to the later half of my freshman year. The second semester was the age of windlessness. No mass, no chaos, and no big stress. Just like a serene lake untouched by the disruptive storms. Focus on studying while longing for new events. Wishing for small gatherings. Living on different days, doing different stuff, yet sharing an overall common thread of familiarity that made differentiation subtle. What intrigued me was that I always believed a life of peace would be the life that I craved. But I guess I'm wrong. I do need those stones, wind, and opportunities to make myself a ripple and form those unique shades of memories. Even though these wave marks don't last forever, they do give rise to captivating moments. To wrap up, I'm just glad that my second semester resembled tranquil water, affording me the chance to comprehend the genuine meaning, value, and significance harbored within each ripple. Speaking of tranquility, my second semester was the age of consistency. By this point, I started to accept the fact that I'm now in the middle of falling action, heading toward resolution, which means no more inherently good things will come unless I myself make the most out of it. Being involved in a finance week was fun. Crafting and designing the decoration, utilizing unexpected waiting gaps as study sections, engaging in sales activities, But it was better to think of it as a recapturing moments of familiar faces by taking pictures. Finance night was spectacular. The chance to have 3 performances was astonishing. But instead of remembering as a great performance, it was better to conclude it as an event for catching up with old friends and really making these events for our own enjoyment rather than a regular performance. The sense of improbability was more apparent after the finance night ended. But I do know that it was these small days, small talks, and small pieces that made up the remarkable puzzles of my freshman year. It seems like the presence of consistency turned out to be a long exhale. I finally had the time to think and process the past few months. It was the age of mass. It was the age of windlessness. It was the age of diversity. It was the age of consistency. To my dear freshman year, to be honest, I used to hate your arrival, sincerely wishing the time would halt during my high school year. Despite my reluctance to embrace the reality of being an officially graduated student, you did show up anyway, surprisingly, with arms wide open. I cautioned myself from meeting you with high expectations. Indeed, you weren't flawless. But one day after another, you proved to me that this year belonged to me. That from now on, you were mine to explore and mold. As the saying goes, sometimes one will never know the value of moments until it becomes a memory. I'm just glad that I have begun this year with a clear understanding of this adage. Therefore, accept the best and worst pieces that you presented. I will definitely miss this graphic semester and the reflective seasons that you have granted me.
结束。